Can you imagine that in some shape or form that all of us are connected? That, you know, like a mother can sense when her child, her infant child, needs something without looking at that child. That someone in one part of the world can get a sense of someone that they love very much in a different part of the world, only to find out that that person was in an accident or received some really incredible news, and had been thinking of that person. Well, can you imagine it? Or actually, it's happening, isn't it? And quite often we sort of pawn it off to synchronicity or coincidence, which is no less than a cooperative incident, right? Well, if we're all connected, how is it? What does that even mean? Well, it's kind of like if you think about the very phone or device or whatever that you're using to view this message. Well, how is that working? Often people don't know this, but it's waves, it's radio waves, right? Or some form of wave, to put it quite simply. And in order for us to be able to, so let's just take a radio, for example. In order for you to receive, how do you even hear? How does that even happen, right? Well, if waves, all waves are existing everywhere, here, right now, in all the space around us, then how does that turn into something that you can see and hear me, or turn into your favorite song on the radio? How does that even happen? Well, within the radio or within your phone or whatever, there's a transducer, a thing, a mechanism which turns it from a wave into whatever audible signal or visual, whatever. Okay, so bear with me for a second. All that's going on. And so what is a wave? In and of itself, it's something that carries information. Now, so how is it that, like, you're thinking of somebody and 10 minutes later they call you, or soon after they call you, and both of you are like, yeah, I was just thinking of you. What's going on there? Well, it's the same deal. It's waves, and all information, all waves carry information, and so that goes to say that like a radio, receiving the wave needs to go through some sort of mechanism, a transducer, in order for us to be able to hear it. The same thing is going on when someone is thinking of you and you happen to call them. There are waves of information, and when you are receptive, when we are receptive, we receive that information, we transduce it somehow within us. So what's going on there? Well, we carry an electromagnetic field all around us. And not only all around us, each organ of our body, every single cell, every single atom has this field of information around it. So why is this important? Because we can affect each other's field of information. In other words, energy, because all energy is something that that carries information, right? It's a frequency, it's a wave. So we can affect each other's field, electromagnetic field, affect each other's energy. And how is that? Well, you know what it's like. I'm sure you've said it before, that you were with somebody, a friend of yours, who was like really draining, and they sucked your energy. They tapped into your electromagnetic field and they were able to pull it out of you, whatever you want to say, call that. So you know what I'm talking about. It's not just you know, sort of woo-woo stuff. It's actually existing. And now I want to go to say, if we have this field around us, and everything has this field around it, whether it be like as humans or, you know, animals or inanimate objects, trees and, you know, things, everything, then, well, then the Earth has this magnetic field also. Why do I bring that up? Why is that a big deal? Because, well, here's the question. If we can affect each other's electromagnetic field, can we affect the electromagnetic field of the Earth? And why would we want to do that? Well, there have been studies that show, the major example I have coming up to exemplify this, but the studies show that the greater our magnetic field, the magnetic field around the Earth, the less aggressive we are to each other as humans. Now, and the example or the story I have to best exemplify that is 9/11. I talked about this in a recent video. But yeah, it's this an amazing thing. Well, there's the frequency of the Earth, right? And it's a base frequency or wave that's 7.83 hertz per second per cycle, and that frequency increased big time when soon after the World Trade Centers, the first one was hit with an airplane. And why was that? And well, it was because with so many eyes on televisions receiving information, that visual information or audible through radios, that a plane had hit one of the World Trade Centers and it was a terrorist attack. What happened was the collective emotions of people caused that spike to occur. And really what I want to say there is that human emotion does directly affect the magnetic, the electromagnetic field around the Earth. So we're dealing with coronavirus, and there's all this fear porn, we can agree. And my sort of question is this: if we know, if there are studies that show that human emotion affects the electromagnetic field of the Earth, and when it increases, people are nicer to each other, which means there's more love, then why is the mainstream media not jumping on this? Why we have this opportunity where, okay, bad things, people are dying, for example, bad enough, right? But it's not the World Trade Centers going down. It's not to that. We all know what that felt like, and it's not that. And we have this opportunity with everything shutting down and whatever, and going into lockdown. We have this opportunity to affect change on the entire world, because you know what happened after that? After the World Trade Centers went down, people were nicer to each other. People were helping each other in at least in the first few days. People were really good to each other, right? There were plenty of stories to exemplify that. So here we are. We have this opportunity. If we know that we can physically do this, really change things, why aren't we doing it? Is my question. And what does it really take? You know, I just did that short video about immunoglobulin A, which we can increase in our bodies by solely focusing on gratitude and appreciation and love, compassion. If we did that, can you imagine if each of us was doing that 3 times a day for for 10 minutes. Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we take this opportunity when we're in lockdown? I mean, Slovakia's declared a state of national emergency today. Or, yeah, you know what I mean. And so many, like, it's happening all around. And I actually, I don't understand why, unless it's absolutely necessary, work has to stay open. Obviously civil servants do, like in terms of hospitals and stuff like that, right? Fine. But why is the local IKEA, for example, open for online purchasing? Who really needs their bed sheets that bad? Come on, I understand it's when it's pharmacy, I understand when it's groceries, but why are we subjecting employees of IKEA to possibly get sick? It just doesn't make sense to me. So right now, for example, in Bratislava, it is open, IKEA, and possibly other shops to be able to sell and still provide on products that were purchased online. But someone's back there, packaging that stuff, and someone's driving a truck, and and all it takes is one person to get ill for them to then shut down. So why would we wait? Why would we do that? Doesn't make sense to me. Send everyone home. Let's just do that. And you know what? Yeah, things are going to fall apart. But what's falling apart? Like I said in another video, things that we weren't happy with anyways. Come on, we can, and you know what? In falling apart, we'll never come back the same. And that's okay. Be willing with me to walk into the familiar like never before. And let's do something. Let's really affect change. So yeah, like we've got this pharmacy within us, this factory of chemicals called our body. And we can affect change. So as I was saying, 3 times a day, 10 minutes a day with your family, sit down with your family, with whoever's in your space, and just focus on gratitude and love and appreciation. Your kids would love it. Trust me, they would love it. That sort of thing is so abnormal for them, but I promise you, it's so innate. The younger they still are, like under 10 years old. You might think it's weird to get them to sit down and do that, but they're gonna love it. They're gonna love it. I've seen this too many times where I've suggested something to a young kid and they jumped on, even to my surprise, because it is so innate within them. Love is innate within them. So try it. And you know what? Guess what? I'm talking about gratitude and appreciation and love affecting the entire globe, affecting like all of humanity, all of Earth, And yeah, I know, I get it. It sounds ridiculously simple, but what if it is? As Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine. And is that happening? Is that happening? Like in normal circumstances, like do doctors ask you what you're eating? Back when I was doing nutritional consultations and I'd ask people, who came in with like high blood pressure and, cholesterol and stuff like that. When was the last time your doctor asked you about food diaries and stuff like that? Never, not one. So come on, let's, it's love over fear. It's truly love over fear. And I know it sounds simplistic, just like food being thy medicine. Or meditation over medication. You know what I mean? It's possible. So anyways, I leave this with you. I'll be back with more. All right? Lots of love. Take care of yourselves and be kind. Be kind to yourselves and be kind to each other.